This time on Rad Rat Comics, we're looking at the first ever standalone issue of Supergirl. Let's do it. Welcome back to Rad Rat Comics, a channel about comic books and the stories I find within them. Today we are going to take a look at the first ever standalone comic for Supergirl Volume 1, Issue Number 1. I often like the secondary version of characters like Supergirl more than Superman, for example, because they tend to tell more interesting stories. They'll take more risks. So if I were to say Supergirl, you wouldn't actually know who I meant. Do I mean the Kryptonian, who's Superman's cousin? Do I mean the purple shapeshifter from the 90s? Do I mean the mid-90s one where she co-inhabits a body with a natural human, but that she has like a multiple personality type of thing? You would have no idea because they've done so many different things with Supergirl. So I've recently started collecting the old school Supergirl stuff. There's a Volume 1 from 1972 and a Volume 2 from 1982, and I've been trying to collect the two of those. But I started reading the first volume, and just the very first issue has a lot of great stuff in it. So let's jump into it. I'm so happy, I think. Quitting my job at KSV-TV was the smartest thing I've ever done, I hope. Now I'm finally going to pursue my real ambition, at last. Wishing and hoping, on the threshold of new life for herself, the Maid of Might swoops over San Francisco's majestic Golden Gate. Okay, so in context, I don't know much of the context, because right before they launched her standalone series, she had a bunch of stories in Adventure Comics. I haven't read those yet. I have been trying to buy those up, but you can't just easily find a scan of it like you can these. So I don't actually know what the context is, but she moved to a new city. It's number one. It's got to be a good starting place. But I wanted to point out her costume for a second. Like at the top of her, or at the bottom of her bikini bottoms or whatever, there's these barbs or something. I don't know what that design is supposed to be. They're really weird. Look at those throughout the issue. They just confuse me a lot. Her shoes are like elf shoes. I don't really get what that's about. Every other superhero wears boots to be, for action purposes, but she's got shoes and of course no pants. She's got a red choker on, which I like. And I really like her shirt because she's just got like a loose flowy shirt, long sleeves, and of course the super logo over on her chest on the side so that she can have a deep V cut. Very cool costume, although they make a mistake with it in a little bit. It is a very special day as Supergirl flies toward her apartment. Good to feel the wind in my hair again after 2 days in outer space. Better check my mailbox for letters. Oh no, a card from the college. X-ray vision flashes through layers of concrete and steel to reveal, yipes, the 15th is today. To Linda Danvers, registration for our drama course has been moved up 1 day to the 15th. You must sign in at once to ensure space in class. It's first come, first serve. Sincerely, Madge Madison, Dean of Women. The movers were supposed to be here tomorrow morning, but now every second counts. And so Supergirl, faster than the eye can see, moves all of her stuff 10 miles away to her dorm in the Delta Zan house in Van Dyer College. Moments later, after another ultra-swift move, I guess my new roommate has already dropped by. These must be her things. Odd. Something's very odd. These pieces of sculpture look really way out. They look like they're made of an unearthly metal. I've never seen this anywhere in our solar system. Wanda 5? That's a name? What kind of girl will I be living with? Oh, I hear a key turning a lock. Ope, I have a heap of explaining to do of Supergirl scene in this room. You must be Linda Danvers. I recognize you from your application photo. I'm Aunt Rosie, your house mother. So nice to meet you. Phew, I barely had time to switch clothes at super speed. You sure are a fast mover. I didn't see you bring your stuff in. I just have to point out the way she's dressed in this scene. They've always got her in as little clothing as possible, but the thing I appreciate is like how period correct things are. Like they really make it feel like the 70s. The way she's dressed, the way the furniture is, the color of all the couches and the upholstery and all that kind of stuff just gives you a real strong feel for the time period, and that's what I really enjoy about these older comics sometimes. So she goes to register for her drama class and she hears a scream. He's dead. A scream coming from inside. Calling upon amazing X-ray vision once more. Oh, it's just a play rehearsal. Must compliment the leading lady's realistic screaming. Huh? I've heard of walking out on a performance, but not like that. A moment later, inside, "Good enough, Susie. We'll run through the scene once more. You can get up now, Ron." The director is Basil Razloff, Hollywood's top leading man years ago, and now he's teaching at Van Dyer. "Ah! He's dead!" There she goes again, but I've got a terrible hunch she isn't acting this time. And neither is he. No pulse. Ron is stone cold dead. My God, how could this have happened? Oh, Ron's gone forever. Poor girl's hysterical. I'll give her a massage to calm her down. I guess she fainted from the shock. And who might you be, young lady? There's been a murder here. Okay, so Supergirl happens to stumble upon a murder in her first 5 minutes in her new college, and when she is confronted by a sobbing classmate, she knocks her out by giving her a Vulcan nerve pinch or something like that. I don't know why, but okay. So the teacher decides to call the police. Supergirl remembers that blonde girl who ran out of the drama room right before she went in and right before the guy was found dead, and she wonders if she should tell the police about it. She decides not to, and she's going to investigate as Supergirl. If I can learn who she is, it'll help me find out where she is. To the registration building. A moment later, I'll have to call the Dean of Women, Supergirl. She's the only one with the authority to grant your request. So remember how she's wearing those long flowy sleeves? They just forgot to draw them in the scene, so they just stained her arm blue. There's no line for where the cuff is. They just kind of let the blue bleed into her skin and just whatever. It's fine. But because she's Supergirl, the college just lets her go through all of their records, and she finds who that blonde girl was. It's her mystery roommate, Wanda 5. A heartbeat later, Supergirl zips toward the Delta Zan house. Now I'll check with Aunt Rosie. Maybe she's seen that squad car is racing 70. Wonder what's up. Need help, officer? Supergirl, glad to see you. Is today's stage murder. Turns out the victim was being blackmailed by a crook who knew that Ron kid had a prison record. A blackmailer? Any leads? Yeah, his partner turned himself in and spilled the beans. Says the crook's heading east in a black sedan. Consider him booked and behind bars. See you. This feels a little bit reckless. The cops just immediately tell, everyone trusts Supergirl, which I guess makes sense. But at the same time, this is a world where people are shapeshifters and, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, somebody flies next to your car and you just tell them everything about the case and it's fine. And so he tells her to try to track down a black sedan, which she doesn't do. She stops this black car, but it's clearly a coupe. That is a 2-door car. That is not a sedan at all. She had 2 words to describe the vehicle, black and sedan, and she picked half of it. But luckily, she's right, and she catches the right guy. I don't know nothing about the murder, Supergirl, honest. I only drove here to pick up my monthly payment from the kid, that's all, I swear. Then I hear the kid conked out before I could collect. Even my partner thinks I plugged him. He's telling the truth. My super sensitive fingers are measuring his pulse like a lie detector. Come on. Soon. They'll book him for blackmail and suspicion of murder, but I know he's not the killer, which leaves me up against a blank wall, with Wanda 5 as my only key. Then, without warning, that's strange. I have the weirdest feeling my brain's being prodded. What's the sudden urge to visit a statue on Van Dyer Green? Why am I here? Wanda? You already know who I am. Good. I lured you here because I want to stop hiding. You lured me? Yes, I can do tricks with my mind even I don't understand. I knew you were somewhere around, so I concentrated my thought waves toward the sky, hoping you'd pick them up. As Supergirl listens to the wispy blonde's haunting story, But Wanda, this is fantastic. You say you knew a murder would be committed in the theater today? Yes, but I didn't know who the victim or killer would be. By the time I arrived, the actor was already dead. I panicked. My first instinct was to run away. When I heard you were on campus, Supergirl, I decided to confess. Anything else you can tell me about the murder? Only that the killer is insane, totally mad. It's as if my mind picks up his unstable thought waves just before he attacks. Oh my God, it's happening again. Quick, Supergirl, the Industrial Arts Building. I'll show you where it is. On our way. A blaze of red and blue, and hurry, I feel we're running out of time. Watch your head, Wanda. Oh my gosh, like something out of an old movie serial. We got here just in time. Plastic? This buzzsaw is nothing but harmless plastic. I don't get it. That blade couldn't have hurt him, no way. Maybe so, Supergirl, but we'll never know. The student is dead. Okay, this scene is just great because Supergirl, she's able to move faster than anyone can see, right? And instead of going through a window or like down the hallway, she just blasts through the wall while carrying somebody. She just charges through a brick wall, and she finds somebody who's about to be cut in half by a saw, but it's okay because it's plastic, and plastic is harmless. And I think you'd find that that's not true. It might have broken quickly, but it would still have killed him long before it broke, right? Like, why? Who would have special? So he was dead already, right? We'll get a little bit more info on it, but not really. He was dead already, but instead of just using a real blade anyway, because why not? He custom made a plastic blade that would break. Was the killer planning on Supergirl stopping him and like confusing her for a second? Like, why? In what world does it make sense that he would put a plastic saw? Where would he get a plastic saw blade? How much effort did he put into this? Was it really worth that much effort to have it be plastic for this one scene where they're a little bit confused? I mean, I'm plenty confused, but was that worth it? I don't know. Let's keep going. And so Supergirl goes to the police station. Victim 1, Ron Buxton, was killed by his own makeup. The killer mixed a lethal chemical into Ron's face cream with a delayed reaction that killed him minutes later on stage. So it's the first day of class, right? Because that's why she had to move there so quickly, because they moved it up a day. So it's the first day of class, and this guy is in full makeup for a rehearsal. I mean, you'd think it'd be a tryout, right? Because it's like day one. I don't know. I don't know why this guy is in makeup already. Maybe he just wears it all the time. I don't know. But whoever killed him apparently expected him to be wearing makeup on stage. I don't know. Victim 2, Michael Himes, was also an actor. He had a serious cardiac condition, which the killer knew. That fake buzzsaw was rigged to scare him. It triggered a fatal heart attack. One link. Both victims were drama students. There must be a connection between them. It would tip us off to the murderer's identity. But what is it? What? Okay, so now we've got the whole plan here. He knew that scaring him with a fake saw would give him a heart attack and kill him. So he's going to kill him anyway. I just don't understand why the saw blade is plastic. What if it didn't work? So in the story, the plastic is harmless. Let's just go with that. The plastic blade would have hit him and it would have just broken and he would have said, ow, and that's it. If that happened, if he didn't have a heart attack, if his claims of having cardiac issues were false, and he didn't have a heart attack and die, or he had a heart attack and survived, and then the blade didn't kill him and he survives, he could just say who did it. He poisons the one guy with makeup. He scares the other guy to death with a fake saw. There may be a third victim who's going to be totally different, too. So, like, why? I guess it makes for a more interesting story than him just shooting people. Sure. But, like, why does he do these things? I don't know. At that moment, on the far side of the campus, you're the one who phoned me to meet you here. I can't stay long. I have a lot of lines to learn for tomorrow's rehearsal. Hey, what's with the thunk? Oh. Back at the police station, they're trying to figure out the link between the victims. They were looking forward to their first starring roles, Ron in Winter Snow with Mike in Poison Please, and now they'll never... Wait, Dean, just say yes or no. Didn't Basil Razloff star in the original productions of those plays years ago? Why, I believe he did, but I said say yes or no. Well, that's not what it says. It's wild, but that may be our connection. Oh, the killer! He's about to strike again. I'm picking up his wild thought waves. If I only knew who's next... Listen, Supergirl, a third Razloff play is scheduled for fall. The lead is to be played by a student named Frank Morris. That's who, now to find out where. As Wanda concentrates her willpower. Come on, Wanda, you can do it. I see a tall metal arm, a huge crane. Got your location, the new math building. At that instant, at the new building. Bah, young upstarts with your method acting, long hair, mumbling voices, filthy clothes. Think you know everything? But you're trash. How dare you and those other two ever hope to play my greatest roles? You think I would allow 3 amateurs to ruin the most famous characters of my stage career? You like to skydive, Frank. I've arranged one last fall for you. No, please. You'll hit the spike so fast, death will be painless. Supergirl! Sorry to cut this so close, but I wanted to hear Razlov's confession. Why did she need to hear his confession? I mean, he's built a spike strip, he's lifted up a guy on a crane, and he's going to drop him onto the spikes to kill him, which is, again, another very creative murder. I do give him some props for that. I guess, as an actor, he's a creative person. He wanted to do his murders with drama. Okay, that's fine. But she needed to hear his confession, because him at the controls of a crane about to drop a guy onto some spikes, that's not enough proof. She's not a cop. She doesn't need proof, she saw it. That's just as good as hearing him say that he's about to kill him while she watches him about to kill him. I don't know. Let's move on. Ugh, I won't let it end like this. What an insane fit of anger. He'll hurt himself unless I use super suction breath to draw the air out of the cab and make him pass out. He'll stay that way until the police get here. He'll get the help he needs in a mental hospital. Later, back at the Delta Zan house, it's so nice you 2 roommates finally met. I'm sure you'll be great friends. But you girls are too skinny. Eat. Whatever you say, Aunt Rosie. Still later, upstairs in the dorm, so much about Wanda is unexplained. Like your outer space trophies, her remarkable mental powers. For all I know, she may psych out my mind and discover I'm Supergirl. So we end on a cliffhanger. Who is Wanda 5? I don't know. This is a 10-issue run. I've read 6 of them, and she hasn't even come up again. So I don't know. I'm sure it's important. I'm going to cut in during editing here because by now I have finished the series, and we never see her again. In fact, I looked it up, and she has 2 appearances, one in Supergirl number 1, and the second one in a reprint of Supergirl number 1. We never find out another thing about her. Yeah, this story, I've read a very, very similar story recently. It was in Batman. It was from the 80s. I don't know exactly when. This Supergirl story predates it, but it was sometime in the 80s, and it was a washed-up actor who was jealous of the people taking over his roles, and so he was killing the actors who were remaking his plays. Exact same storyline. But yeah, this one had more style, more 70s, more fluffy sleeves. I don't know why I like those so much, but yeah, I just thought that was a fun Supergirl story that was worth checking out. So that's it for this time. Stay tuned for more whatever I find. Silver Age, Bronze Age. I might even do some modern stuff. Maybe we'll see. But that's it for now. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.